You know something's broken with democracy when half of the voters don't even show up on election day. Part of the problem is the negative campaigns and the fact that candidates spend more time attacking each other rather than putting forward their own positive ideas. And of course, we get really bogged down by discussions about vote splitting and strategic voting, and that's a turnoff for a lot of people as well. And then at the end of the day, we end up with all these candidates who win their seats with less than 50%, even as low as 17% of the vote. Using a ranked ballot and instant runoff voting, we can fix all of these problems. It's a small and simple change that'll give us fair and friendly elections in Toronto.
There's no math formula for counting the will of the voters. Every electoral system involves distortions. Our current system, for example, gives up some of the representativeness in elections in order to gain some accountability and responsiveness from governments once in office. Another consequence of our system, however, is that it encourages people to vote strategically rather than sincerely. But let's be clear about one thing. Ranked ballots won't discourage strategic voting. They'll change the strategy and they'll complicate it. And this brings us to the crux of the issue that we face. Electoral reform isn't just about changing the way we count votes. It's also about changing the way that players play the game. And do we really want an electoral system that encourages players, the politicians, to appeal to one another's supporters to try to be their second choice? That's a friendlier system, but is it one that's going to do as good of a job of clarifying the alternatives and helping us to make an informed choice?
There's always going to be cynical voices discouraging us from making positive change. But I think the best cities are the ones who can look in the mirror and say, hey, we're doing this wrong, we can do it better, let's fix it.
Dave makes a good case for electoral reform in Toronto municipal politics. But we need to be careful about exporting anything that we try in Toronto politics to the very different parliamentary systems that characterize the provincial and the federal levels.